Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Olivia. If you are new, make sure you subscribe. I do like a lot of lifestyle vlogs, stuff like that. I'm a student, if that interests you at all. So yeah, if you're into any of that, make sure you subscribe. But today we're going to be talking about vision boards, goal setting, 2021, all of that stuff. I made a vision board last year that I have right here. And I actually did a whole video on this specific vision board. If you want to go watch it, it's probably a little bit cringy because it was an entire year ago, over a year ago, and I had just started my channel. So it's probably a little like very cringy, kind of gross, but if you want to watch it, I'll put it up here. So I made a physical vision board last year, which I didn't do this year, and I'll talk about that later. But obviously, not everything that I put on here came true or manifested. I reached that goal, whatever. But I guess I'll go over a couple of them. I have like a fat stack of cash right here. And actually, I would say that one came true or manifested. And I'm very thankful for that, obviously, especially because of like COVID and everything. The job that I had didn't pay well. I was a part-time gymnastics coach and I loved my job so much, but like just because of the job I had, it didn't pay much. I was a gymnastics coach. So when I applied for unemployment, because I obviously wasn't able to coach, I was getting the $600 extra unemployment check, which was like double what I was making bi-weekly, or like, because it was like $1,200 every 2 weeks and then a little bit more because of like the base unemployment rate, and so that was like almost double what I was making coaching. So I was able to like pocket that and like spend it on apartment stuff, moving costs, which is really a blessing. I paid for my iPad with that money, so that was awesome. What else? I have a picture of a plane on here. That didn't happen. I have 3.5 GPA up here, and I don't know my GPA because I realized that in grad school your GPA like doesn't really matter unless you're trying to get like certain scholarships or something. But I ended up with all A's and B's and I'm very happy with myself. So yeah, I would say that one went well. I have some books on here and I actually read a lot like during quarantine and stuff. I feel like a lot of people picked up reading while they were in lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it. But those are just some highlights, I guess. There's probably other ones on here that I could say came true, but we won't spend too much time on that. So I switched some things up from last year's vision board to this year's vision board, and I'm going to talk about those. So the first different thing that I did from last year to this year is that I didn't use any faces or specific people on my vision board. And I'll show you my vision board in a little bit. But I feel like, especially for me, like if I have a picture of a certain person that inspires me or something on my vision board, I can't, not to say I can't, it's really hard for me to picture myself in that experience or that situation, if that makes sense. So like if I follow someone on Instagram that has something or went somewhere and I'm like, oh, that would be cool, like I want to put that on my vision board because I want to like manifest that or set that goal for myself, and it's a picture of them, it's really hard for me to like switch out them for me in that situation, if that makes sense. So I tried not to use any specific people, any faces at all, so it's easier for me to visualize myself in that experience. I also feel like last year you can kind of see it, I used a lot of pictures. Like there's a lot of stuff on here, and I only have, I don't know how many pictures, but there's definitely not this many on my 2021 vision board. And I think if I have like too many pictures, it just like, I don't know, not that it looks bad, but everything just kind of gets like lost, and I don't really like it that much. And this year I wanted to be like very intentional with the pictures that I chose and make sure that like I put meaning to them and they have like value to me. Like I didn't want to just put pictures on my vision board to like fill up space and so it would look good. I think it looks good anyway, but I wanted everything to have like a meaning and a value. And the third thing that I changed this year is I made it digital. And I liked doing this one because it was like a fun like little craft. I've like framed it. It's like pretty intense. But I realized that I just don't have the patience to like cut out and like glue all these pictures together on a piece of paper, like put it back in this frame and like hang it up somewhere. Also, I don't know if I have access to a color printer at my apartment complex. I didn't want to inquire about that, so I just did a digital one, which I'm very excited about because it was kind of fun to do, and because I can put it on all my devices. Like, it's on my iPad, it's my phone background, it's my laptop background, so yeah, I can see it all the time. Plus I can like change things if I want to. So if in a few weeks I am not resonating with a certain picture or a certain goal, or just like doesn't feel aligned to me, then I can like switch it out for another picture and kind of move things around, and I don't have to like rip up a piece of paper and try to glue something over it or something like that. It's just a lot easier. Yeah, I feel like everything's digital now. So this year with my vision board, I'm actually going to do a few different vision boards for the year because I liked doing this one so much. Like, I had a lot of fun doing it. I feel like I'm going to make them every month because I don't want to get stuck just like looking at the same thing and then it gets boring and then it like doesn't, I don't know, doesn't do it for me. So I kind of want to switch it up every month, or like maybe every like quarter or something. So that way it stays like fresh and I get excited about it every time that I do it. But last year I kind of just like put my vision board, like propped it up on my desk. Maybe you saw it if you saw my videos from back home when I lived at home. But I kind of propped it up on my desk and then it just like sat there. And I thought that was okay because I could like see it all the time when I was working or at my desk or whatever. But again, it just kind of got like passive, like it was just, I don't know. I saw it, but I didn't really see it. But anyway, something that I'm trying to do this year is be really intentional with my vision board and like actually work with it. So I guess I'll show, maybe I'll pop a picture of it like up on the screen so there's not like this awful glare on my iPad. But I actually got this tip from, her name's Michaela J. She's the host of the My Mindset, Magic, and Manifestation podcast. I'll like link the exact episode that I'm referring to in the description box. But she was talking about how I think she does this every morning, I'm not really sure, but she will like do her journaling practice or whatever she does, and she looks at her vision board and she writes down like what each picture means to her. So for example, if you have a picture of a certain car on your vision board that you are setting a goal for yourself that you want to get, or you're going to manifest it, whatever vernacular terminology you'd like to use, instead of just putting that on the board and saying like, oh yeah, like that'd be cool to have like that car, and that's it, it's like the only meaning you attach to it. She was saying in the episode that you write out like, I think there's a picture of like a little bowl of food right here. I would say like bowl of food in my journal, and then you would write out kind of what that means for you. So if you have the picture of the car, if we're going back to that example, instead of saying I want XYZ car, you can say I want XYZ car because it makes me feel all of these different positive emotions, whatever you're thinking, and I can drive around with my friends and go to XYZ place, and that would make me feel this way. What else? I want this car because that would mean I have reached a certain level of success in my career and I'm able to afford this. And like, you get what I'm saying? Kind of like write a story about how that makes you feel and like why you want that a little bit deeper than just like, oh, that would be cool to have, because that's kind of like, I don't know, that's like not as fun, you know? So if you're doing that like very regularly, I feel like, I don't know, you're actually working with your vision board and not just like passively looking at it every day. So yeah, that's something different that I'm doing this year with my vision board. And as far as just like general goal setting goes, I'm gonna bring some science into this because I'm a science person, I'm a student doctor, I like science. And you may have heard of this if you listen to a lot of like thought leaders, manifestation people, like very high achieving people on like podcasts or Instagram or YouTube, wherever you listen to them. But some of them will talk about the reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain. I know it sounds like, if you've ever heard about it, it sounds kind of like weird, but it's an actual thing. So the reticular activating system, or the RAS, some people call it, filters out different stimulus in your environment. So that's why you don't like consciously hear everything around you. So if you hear like a pin drop, you're not like super conscious of it, or you're not like super hyper aware of like every single thing you pass on the street, because it's not like super important to you. The most important thing when you're like driving is like looking at the road ahead of you, like making sure like everything's clear. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of filters out things that aren't important to you and filters in things that are important to you. So like for example, it's also why when someone says your name that you respond, because you've kind of trained yourself, or you like your parents have trained you as you were growing up to like respond to your name because like something important was going to happen, like something, someone had to tell you something, whatever. And then in my case, I always respond when someone says Leah, because that's my twin sister's name. And all through my childhood, when someone said Leah, half the time they were trying to get my attention. They just like couldn't tell us apart. It's also why, I don't know if anyone else played this as a kid, but like when you're on long road trips and you play punch buggy or whatever the VW Beetle bug car, this one, I'll put a picture of it, whatever. And I hope I'm not the only one who ever did this. I can't be. But if you're on like a long road trip and you try to count the number of like these cars, and every time you see one, you get to like hit the person beside you. It's so weird. But yeah, and then like whoever gets the most wins. But if you're not consciously like looking for these cars, your reticular activating system probably just like filters them out because it's like not important to you in the moment. So in terms of like manifestations, goal setting, again, like whatever you want to call it, the reticular or your reticular activating system can like honestly really help you out if you use it correctly. Because like if we go back to the car situation, if you're like consciously thinking about the specific car that you want, you're talking about the car that you want to other people, it's like in the front of your head, then things are gonna like start coming up. You'll be more conscious of things that are surrounding that specific car that you want. So maybe you overhear someone talking about how they're selling their car and it's like the exact car you want. Otherwise, if you weren't consciously like thinking about that all the time and you didn't had like not set that goal for yourself, then like your reticular activating system might have just like filtered that through and you wouldn't even have like been conscious of it. Or maybe you start talking about this car to your friends or your family, and like you know how your phone like listens to you all the time. Maybe an ad pops up on like a car resale website for the exact car that you want, and it's the perfect price, all the things line up, and then you can go buy that car. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I think it's really cool. So there's some science for you. It's a real thing. So lastly, I'll talk about how I did my vision board. Again, it's digital this year, which I am really vibing with, because then I can put it like on every screen and I can just see it all the time. So I made my vision board on Canva, which is also where I do all my thumbnails and stuff. So I'm like kind of familiar with it. So I'll pull up like a screen recording of my vision board and how I did it. I usually get my pictures from Pinterest. I have like a private board on my Pinterest that is kind of like an ongoing vision board for me. I just like pin pictures to it that I want to manifest or that are representative of goals that I have for myself. So I can just kind of always scroll through it, and then I have a constant feed of pictures that I can make my vision boards with. So it makes it really easy because I don't have to like spend like hours searching for a certain picture, because I just have a bunch to pick from on this private board that I have. Basically, all you need to do is just save the pictures from Pinterest, or maybe you have pictures from Instagram, or you've taken pictures and they're on your photos. All you need to do is upload those to Canva, and it's really easy. You just like drag and drop the picture into the upload section of Canva, and you can also kind of play around with I guess what do you want to call it? layout, the setup of the pictures. I kind of like the vision boards that look a little bit more like collages and things are like on top of each other and behind each other. I just think it looks a little bit more interesting than having like everything side by side and like super symmetrical. So I know some people like don't know how to do that. So for example, if I take this picture down here and I press position, you can go like backward with it any certain amount if you want to cover up, if you have like a big picture and you want to cover up a portion of it, or you can go forward with it however many layers you want. So that's a really helpful feature. Or you can like change the background color if you want little pieces of the background poking through, or add different shapes or something to them. There's a bunch of like shapes and features on Canva if you want to do that, just to make it a little more visually interesting. Or you could do, let's see, you could do text down here. I didn't do these things just because I wasn't feeling it this time around, but you could always do that if you wanted to. Like for example, if you had like a certain like saving, oh, I just erased the whole thing. If you had like a certain savings goal that you wanted, if you wanted to like save $20,000, you could put that with like a little stack of money or whatever you wanted to do, and change the position around, all of that stuff. So I mean, I don't want to put that on there, so we won't do that. So I'll pop another picture of my vision board up here, and then I can like go through kind of what I'm feeling for everything. So at the top there's a picture of like a huge bowl of like vegetables, and that's just like goal to eat a little bit healthier. I kind of found myself eating the exact same things every day, every week for 2020. I just kind of got in a rut, so I wanted to be a little bit more adventurous with my meals, a little more balanced with my meals. So that's kind of what that is. I have a picture of New York City. Not that I'm like planning to go to New York City or anything, but I just really love cities and exploring different cities. So kind of making it a goal to go explore somewhere, hopefully in 2021. I know that's kind of up in the air. Again, I'm not going super in depth with like all of these, just very like surface level. One, because like they're kind of personal, I guess, kind of. And two, just don't have time for that. These two pictures here of like these girls in like tops and jeans or whatever. And one, I just kind of liked the vibe. And again, I don't have like faces showing on these pictures. And two, they are like pictures from the website of like a brand that I'd like to work with, so I put those on there. I have a few different quotes on here that you can read. I really like this one at the bottom. It says, "Everything you can imagine is real." It's like, I think, my favorite quote right now. A picture of like a really nice apartment. I'm not planning on like moving anywhere like super bougie or luxurious, and this isn't like a like strict 2021 goal that I have for myself, but just like eventually in the future, like moving into like a really nice place. At the bottom I have a little cup of iced matcha. I love my matcha, and that just kind of is a goal to, again, eat a little bit more healthy, drink healthier things. Again, I just like the vibe of it. So that's that. I have a picture of this hand with some gold jewelry on it. I want more gold jewelry. I don't know if that's like stupid, but I want to be able to afford like nicer jewelry for myself. So that's on there. I have a picture of some friends with some wine glasses on the beach, kind of manifesting a little bit of travel, kind of maybe in 2021. Again, not sure, but also just kind of symbolizing like being with friends more and like having fun with friends, because obviously these people are like in a group somewhere, and drinking really good wine. Again, I'm probably gonna do another one next month, so if you want to see like a monthly updated vision board or like goals, let me know. That might be fun. I guess comment down below some of your goals, or maybe like post a picture of your vision board on Instagram or like on your stories or something and tag me. That would be fun. I love looking at like vision board inspiration, so share yours with me. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go eat lunch now because it's, what time is it? 2:30 and I haven't eaten lunch yet. So I'm gonna do that. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Again, make sure to subscribe if you are not already. Comment down below something that's on your vision board or a goal that you have for 2021. Give the video a thumbs up because that really helps out my channel, supports me, and it lets YouTube know that other people should watch this video. So again, that really helps me out. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.